Hello everyone, Dave here and welcome to the Complete Guide Part 11. And finally we have reached the penultimate game in the Formula 1 game franchise on the PS1. And finally this is the last game to feature the 2000 season data. This is of course F1 Championship season. So why, you may ask, was the same game brought out just 6 months after the first version? Well, there was a couple of reasons. One of those was because F1 2000 was released in March, just as the season was starting. They didn't have time to include the new sponsorship deal that Arrows had with Orange. So the actual livery of the car in F1 2000 was the old 1999 livery. So that was rectified for this game, and basically it was given a spit and polish as well. Several graphical improvements were included, and there was an attempt to try and make the game more difficult, which was one of the concerns that people had with F1 2000. But did they manage to pull it off? Well, a little bit more about that later. Anyway, we're just on the quick race at the moment. As you can see, I think all the assists are on, which drives me crazy because I can't actually steer the car properly. But we're going to look at some of the actual views that are on offer. You had the chase view there. This is the T-cam, the old cockpit cam view, as you can see. And it's all very, very glorious. And the graphics seem to move a little bit faster than they did in F1 2000. There seems to be an improvement in the frame rate. We've just gone to the glorious cockpit view, which has to be the best view in the game, as you can see. But of course, I'm not driving very well because the steering assistance is actually on and I can't stand steering assistance. But here we go then, in the cockpit view, currently in 17th place. This is all on default. I've just gone straight into the game as if you just picked it up from brand new, and it chucks you straight into Eddie Irvine in the Jaguar. And there of course you can see the new livery, or should I say the old livery of the Orange Arrows. And now we've just gone back to the chase view as I completely take out, I think it was a Prost. Now of course, if you so desired, you can actually customize the grid and have every car in the correct position for the races in the 2000 season. Sadly though, there is no actual spectator mode, so you can't do any reverse grid races. And as you can see, the cars have got away. I actually paused for a moment because I noticed the car seemed to be stuck on the grid, and it seems to be Mika Hakkinen. I don't think he's got the call up to go, and he's stationary on the grid. So there's a little bug for you in the custom Grand Prix section. Yes, he's just sitting there. Okay then. And in case you're wondering, no, unfortunately you cannot play this game as yourself. But now it's on to the teams and drivers. We've got Jaguar with Eddie Irvine, and of course his teammate in 2000 was Johnny Herbert. Okay, we move on to the next team now, and it's Ralf Schumacher in the Williams BMW, and his partner of course is Jenson Button in his first year in Formula 1. Then on to Benetton with Fisichella and Alexander Wirtz, then Prost with Alesi and Heidfeld. The next team we move on to is Sauber with Diniz and Mika Salo, then Arrows with Pedro Della Rosa and Jos Verstappen, now in the correct livery for the car. And then we move on to Minardi with Genet and Gaston Mazzacane, and then BAR with Jack Villeneuve and Ricardo Zonta. Then of course we move on to McLaren with Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard, and then Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello in the Ferrari with Vincent and Trulli in the Jordan. Okay then, we're just going for another quick race. We're just going to see what the AI behaviour is like, and we're at Spa at the moment. Of course we're coming down to that very, very tight right-hander. Let's see what happens now. So we're going through, bit of contact with the car in front. I think that's a Prost. Yes, it was. And oh my god, I've taken out the Jaguar as well. But we're going to go through the Eau Rouge section. Of course, this is not going to be familiar to quite a lot of people because it's all changed now from what it was in 2000. So here we go then, through Eau Rouge, and yes, you have to go left and then sweep right and then left again. As you can see, they've basically straightened that out a little bit in future years. Anyway, we now go on to the meat and the potatoes, but not yet, because it's time for scenario mode. Yes, this is the first race of the season. You must prove BAR are serious contenders. Starting from 8th, you must finish within the first 4 places. So this is basically a scenario mode that starts easy and gets harder as it goes through. These are based on real events that actually happened in the 2000 season, and you've basically got to complete the objectives and then you can go on to the next one. There's quite a few, not that many though, but there you go. This is the brand new scenario mode which has been included in F1 Championship season. This was not in F1 2000. This is an extra that they added on later in the game. So we're in the BAR. This is on the medium difficulty, which is how you start the scenarios. As I say, they get more and more difficult as you progress through them, and our objective is to get into the top 8, which we've already done at the moment, as we go straight into the back, I think, of Heinz Harold Frentzen in the Jordan. And oh my god, I've taken him out. I've completely taken him out. But I'm now up into 5th position, and we've got Ruby Barrichello, and oh my god, look at this, and someone's off. It's Coulthard. Coulthard in the McLaren goes straight off the circuit, and I'm now up into 5th position, but Heinz Harold Frentzen did manage to get past me there, as you can see. Very, very sneaky. Well, the AI behaviour, I had to say, is pretty good. The only problem you have is if you get right up behind them, you can smack straight into the back of them, because they do seem to slow down a lot. Now also you can see some reflections on the track from the rear brake light. Oh my god, Frentzen's blown up. We saw his car was smoking, and he's now blown his engine. Yes, this is also new for F1 Championship season. Reflections on the track. Okay, now we go on to the training mode. Oh my god, this is also new for F1 Championship season. As we can see there, we've got blue cones, orange cones. Oh my god, it's like the bank holiday on the M25 in England. Anyway, let's carry on then and see if we can do the training and see exactly what happens.
You start the lap. You turned a bit late that time. You turned a bit late there, but you got away with it and did well through that corner. Excellent. You hit the apex perfectly. Excellent stuff. Quite good, but you were too far right at the turning point. That's it. That corner was fine. That wasn't bad, but you were too wide at the first apex cone. You took that corner well. Hard acceleration as you hit the straight. Not bad. Try to carry more speed to the second apex cone, but that was okay. Too far to the right. Take that further to the left. Stay more to the left at the brake cone, but well done. That was good stuff. Well done, that was okay. That was good cornering, bit early on the brakes, but that was really good. Full throttle here, that's it.
Wow, 75%, that is good. Okay, onto the car setup. You can change the gear ratios from low to high to medium, which is the default setting. Also, you can change the steering lock. You can have more steering for tracks like Monaco. You can change the front suspension, and of course the rear suspension, you can make it harder or softer. You can also change the brake balance, and you can now change the engine RPM, which is also new for F1 Championship season. And the side pod radiators, you can make them smaller or larger, and of course you can change the tyres from wet to soft. Okay, so now we go on to the meat and potatoes of the game, the Grand Prix season. You can have the weather as wet, realistic or dry. The race length you can do from 4 laps, 16 laps, half laps, all the way up to 4 laps. And you can have the difficulty on easy, you can have it on medium, or you can have it on hard or expert. You can have the fuel usage on or off, you can have the flags on or off. The tyre wear can also be on or off, failures on or off, and the damage can also be on or off. So here we go then, it's time for the Monaco test once more, and the 5 lights go out, and it's away we go at Monaco in last position. This is a 16-lap race, and we're just going to test as we go into turn 1 now how the AI behaviour responds. Oh my god, that Sauber went a little bit wide there, and there's contact. Oh, I've been hit up to Jack Jones by Minardi's. Oh, and I'm having contact with one of the other BARs. That's my teammate, of course, as we go up the glorious hill section of Monaco. There's more contact. As you can see, lots of sparks and bits of debris fly up on the circuit when you're driving around it. You can also see those reflections I said about earlier as we come up the hill and round the first turn now, and we're just coming down into the casino section. Well, the graphics, I have to say, are very good indeed. We've got a large building now where some of the other games have had a gaping great big hole, which looks very obvious, but now we've got a huge building, so it all looks fine. We've just gone past the orange arrows there. We're coming through the casino section. We've already made it up to 15th place, but of course I'm pretty sure this is probably on easy because I'm just using this for demonstration purposes. And we go through the tunnel now. Let's see the glorious Monaco tunnel and see exactly how it's lit. Well, it's not bad. You can sort of see where you're going, and it's quite well lit, it has to be said, with all the neon lights as we go through the tunnel section now. Now, of course, there's other things to remember. This, of course, is fully compatible with the DualShock 2 controller, or if you're playing it on a PlayStation 3, and yes, this game is 100% compatible with a PlayStation 3, although like F1 2000, some of the actual menu screens are a little bit laggy, but apart from that, the game runs exactly how it did on the PS1. Okay, we've got a little bit of wheel damage now, as you can see, to the car. Now in F1 2000, if you had some wheel damage, pretty soon, in fact within about half a lap, your wheel used to fall off straight away. But in this game, I've actually gone around for another lap, and as you can see, it actually lasted sort of lap and a half before the wheel comes off, so it gives you a little bit more time to get into the pits and make a pit stop. I've deliberately stayed out just to emphasise the fact, so it's time to come in for my pit stop now, and of course we're going to see what the pit stop routine is going to be like. I think it's just going to be like F1 2000, a statistical screen. Yes, it is a statistical screen, as you can see, so we come in for our stop, and it gives you all the information that you're going to need on your strategy, and the stop is probably going to take about 20 seconds, although it seems to be going quite quickly. This could be a 10-second stop, I do believe. Oh my goodness, that was about 8 seconds. So we come out of the pit lane now. As you can see, we got stickers on the tyres which indicated that they were brand new tyres, and of course they were groove tyres in 2000. So we've accelerated forward now to lap 16. I've actually done the whole of this race just to demonstrate a few things, and as you can see, I've actually won the race, but it is of course on the very easy level. Now, if you remember in F1 2000, I said that one of the chief concerns was the difficulty on that game, and they seem to have addressed it in F1 Championship season. Well, sort of. They've addressed it basically by cheating. This is the race analysis screen, and as you can see, that's my race analysis, which is highlighted, and I pitted 3 times because I was basically driving like a complete noob. But let's have a look at some of the other drivers now. Michael Schumacher pitted once, which I have to say was quite surprising. This doesn't usually happen, but let's have a look at some of the other drivers now as we go down the field. David Coulthard actually crashed out and his engine blew up, so he didn't score any points. Mika Hakkinen went to the end of the race without stopping. Giancarlo Fisichella also did not stop. Eddie Irvine stopped halfway through the race, as you can see, but when we move on to Ruby Barrichello, he didn't stop either. So basically, this is how they address the difficulty, by cheating. Only half the cars in the field actually stop. Now, I went through weeks and weeks of checking the data after every single race, and I can tell you that even in full race distances, half the field don't stop, which is completely unrealistic because you have to stop. You have no choice because your tyres are worn out halfway through the race. But some of the other cars don't have to stop. So this is how they've managed to get past the difficulty, because obviously they gain at least 20 seconds in the race when you have to stop. So once I'd found out all this information, which as I say took me a couple of weeks, and I went through 20% races, 50% races, 100% races, my interest in this game rapidly evaporated. Anyway, so that's how they address the difficulty, basically by cheating, because I would say that the code was already written, so it's probably very, very difficult to try and make the cars go any faster, because as I say, the code's already been there. They only tweaked the code for this game. Anyway, we're now at Brazil, and we're in the new livery of the orange arrows, and we're just going to completely drive without any brakes. Yes, we're just going to forget the brake pedal and see how much damage we can now do to the car before it gets either disqualified or blown up or whatever. So at the moment we've got a little bit of wing damage, but I don't think that was very respectable. So I think into this next turn we're just going to plough straight into the rest of the cars and see if we can get ourselves a little bit more damage. So here we go, full speed, I think straight into the back of this Prost. Oh my goodness gracious me, yes, straight into the back of the Prost. He goes flying halfway off to Narnia, and I'm now in 19th position, but of course that's because I've hit all the cars off. But I've now completely lost my front wing. Oh, it's a complete catastrophe. Oh my god, I've gone straight into the back of a Sauber now, and oh my, and he's blown up. Yes, the Sauber's blown up. Yes, also one of the things you could do if you were very good was when you crashed really hard in the back of the car, you could make his engine blow, which was rather satisfying, I had to say. As the Minardi goes off as well, oh my god. So once again we end with, is this game worth buying? Well, once again I have to say, as I oh my god, I put him straight in the wall. I have to say, once again, I actually bought this for a penny. It cost me £2 in postage and packing, but the actual game was a penny, so, you know, it's entirely up to you. If you want a little bit of fun from your old F1 games, then go for it, but don't expect them to pit because that's not going to happen. And so I think our journey in trying to smash this car into smithereens is almost at an end. I do actually turn the car around and start going the wrong way around the circuit, and I end up with a 10-second penalty, but that's about it. You can just about smash it, like the wheels can come off and pretty much everything else as I smack straight into the wall. There you go, I've now got a rear puncher on the car, so I try to turn the car around now and go the other way, which is always a fun trick to do in Formula 1 games, and see exactly how much damage I can put, but basically not a lot. As you can see, there's lots of bits of rubber flying off the car from the punctured wheel. I've now got one wobbly wheel and one punctured wheel, and the wheel's gone off. The wheel has now gone off, so now I've just got a punctured wheel on the back and no wheel at all on the front. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. There will of course be more later.